You've been wanting to create content and you've come to the conclusion that it's all too much. I want to help make this so easy for you. I want to take some things off the table, especially for those of you who are either beginning content creators or have been doing this a while and finding yourself with a struggle. I want you to lean in closely. Now, before we dive in, this video is targeted at my Gen X Plus creators. Technically, by the metrics, it means like 41, 42 plus, but 40 something and above. This is targeted at you guys. And I want to tell you why. Look at me. I'm that guy. But number two, I understand why content creation is so frustrating to our people. Kids that used to play outside, those of us that used to watch Saturday morning cartoons and then go outside and not come back until dinner time. Yeah, us. All right, listen closely. This is going to be conversational format. You're not going to see any crazy edits. Why? Because that's the point of this video. My partner in crime, Mary Lou, and I have been making this conversation around making ugly videos because you need to get in the practice of being able to sit down and just have a conversation. YouTube and social media can be frustrating to us because we see the cute kids out here looking mad sexy with their cinematic videos and their extra dope B-roll and sliding all over the place. And we like, I got to compete with that. And the answer is no. No, you do not. We are old people. We do not do that. You can, and there's nothing wrong with it if you do it, but you don't have to. Okay, so again, this is going to be conversational style, so just stick with me. I have gone to many conferences. I am invited to speak at all myriad sorts of conferences. And there are the people that I know some of you guys look up to or you wish you could be like because they have these 3-4 million subscriber channels and they look so clean and polished and perfect on TV. Well, on YouTube. But when I get to the conference and I'm sitting in their session and they're bumbling. Why? No script. And they have a hard time communicating with the audience. Why? No script, no edit, no Final Cut Pro, no team. They get pulled into the hall to answer questions after. They swear they're super helpful on YouTube, but in real life at the conference, as soon as their session is over, they run. Why? Because it's a farce. I don't mean they have bad intention. As a matter of fact, I don't think they're bad people. Several of the people I'm talking about who I know personally, they're good people, but they are so polished on the internet that's not really them. And yet it's coming off as authentic because that's what they were told by their people. That's what they were told by their mentors was necessary to show up on YouTube. And maybe at one time that was the case. As a matter of fact, if you dig into my archives, I got some super polished, hyper edited videos. But today, right now, we don't really have to do that. People are more interested in a person who is the real deal Holyfield, the real articles. That means stumbles, that means mistakes, that means me saying weird words or words that I make up and nobody cares. Why? Because that is me being who I really am. When you meet me in person, I'm exactly as you see here on YouTube, and that glasses cleaning did not do anything. So just so you know, I want to give you permission right now to just make videos as you are. If you watch my homie Mary Lou, she'll come up and do a video with not a makeup. I mean, sans makeup, not a single drip of the foundation or the One Nation or the perspiration or nothing. She just comes in and makes a video. Why? Because she has something important to tell you and she wants to get it off her chest, right? I often make videos like this with one take, no cuts, no edits. I mean, at the end of this, the person that comes from broadcast media is going to want to open this up in Final Cut and at least put the titles and stuff on. Not going to do it. I'll probably add the ending because I like my ending sexy, but I'm not going to edit. There's no cuts. There's no jumps. There's nothing. Now, here's another thing. this came up in a comment recently from one of the users. Joe had asked a question about hypercuts and high-speed editing, because the conversation before was around YouTube retention is better when there's a video and then there's a push in and a pull back. That was for the kids. Those kids have low attention spans. We didn't grow up like that. We're not used to that. We're not even used to that sort of conversation. We're not used to the hyper disconnected, everything changing every couple of seconds conversations. As a matter of fact, when you guys see stuff like that, us Gen X people will say, that's overwhelming. And we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. But when you guys see that hyper edited stuff, you guys often say you didn't understand. You felt out of place. You felt disconnected. You felt the person talked too fast. And you felt some type of way. So that is not for our audience. You don't have to do hypercuts. You don't have to do speed edits, because 9 times out of 10, I'm assuming, and this is crazy of me to assume, but like me, most of our audience is very similar to you. And as all of us are over 40, we didn't grow up with that kind of crazy editing, so it's not necessary. And I literally watch people in my work community who go out of their way to spend so much time and effort to try to get all of these weird After Effects looking twirls and transitions and whatnot. And that has nothing to do with us. Nothing at all. Like, we didn't grow up with that kind of mentality, and nor we didn't need to copy that. Most of us, it's not that we don't have the mental capacity, but we learned it in a different way. So we would rather have a genuine one-to-one normal paced conversation that brings value, gets to the point, shares life where we really are. We don't have to show up in any kind of weird way. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give you permission to do what I call making ugly videos, but I mean make ugly videos with intent, not just trash for trash sake, but at a level and a pace and a speed that is commensurate with your audience, that your people will understand, that your tribe will vibe with. So this means we have to get over to perfection. Now, I mentioned this in the earlier video where I stated, because many of us are coming with a degree or a certification or some, lofty thing that we can live behind, we tend to think we need to show up like that. But no, you don't. Like, finding out that my doctor loved to play tennis and then having him come over to my condo and play tennis with me a couple of times before my knees gave up was one of the most fulfilling things amongst. This guy has been my doctor for literally 30, 40 years, but having played a couple rounds of tennis with him was just glorious. Why? Because he's just a human. People want to know the human. People want to know the you. The gurus have been caught. All of the gurus have been caught, busted. Most of them are full of crap, and people are trying to sell you something. And even now, companies are going out of their way to hire creators first. And they're hiring creators who can show up normally and make videos that look like they're part of the deal. So one of my favorite brands in the game right now is Unbound Merino. Not sponsored, not a commercial, but when you see one on IG, it'll be somebody packing for traveling, talking about how they travel, and now they just carry Unbound Merinos and not a lot of kit. And it's not a fancy, like, hyper-produced commercial. It is literally them packing, them going to the airport, and them on vacation. Like normal, simple day in the lifestyle shots. The day in the lifestyle commercials, which we now see on the internet, the promos live of that nature, are more and more real. So this is a portion of my Nice to Know, Nice to Have November series, but I'm not even going to put the graphic on. I want you to know that you can absolutely make videos where you're just having a conversation with people, discussing whatever it is you're doing, demoing your craft, explaining how you can save 15% on your car insurance by switching to Geico, whatever the case may be. You do not have to hyper edit videos. As I travel around the country and I talk to content creators, especially those of a certain vintage, the thing that always comes up is I don't like editing. Don't edit then. I don't like the mistakes that I make when you talk. When you're having a conversation with your mother, brother, sister, brother-in-law, cousin, friend at the grocery store, do you often flub when you talk? Yes, and you just back up and fix it. That's a normal conversation. You're allowed to do that on the internet. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to throw this out there, and I swear to you, all I'm going to do is open Final Cut and put the song at the end of this because I like that song. But I'm not going to edit it because I want you to see that you can absolutely do this with no editing involved. As a matter of fact, in Ecamm, when I pressed this button, I could upload it straight to YouTube, and YouTube gave us an editor like they used to have where I could put the end card at the end. They don't really do that anymore. So I want you to know that if you're of a certain vintage, you don't have to be perfect. We did all of the perfect already. We're out here to add value, improve people's lives, live out our purposes for the time remaining on this planet. We have nothing to prove. Lost smooth, and we ain't got nothing to prove. We've been there already. We got the plaques, the pains, the sore joints. That's all we need, right? So this is permission from me, Doc, to tell you to just get out there and just make content and enjoy being old. We cool. We cool. We did all the fun stuff already. Now, this series, Nice to Know, Nice to Have November, where I talk about things I wish I knew or I wish I had when I first started my content creation, is sponsored by Doc Pops. Yeah, that's me. It's just my company. I invented these lovely color foam, acoustic foam microphone filters. See, I just stuttered right there. That allow you to have great sounding presence on camera because it will take your mic and eliminate extra background noise and popping from your Peter Piper, Pick the Pepper, Pickle Peppers. But it will also make you look hella fresh because it comes in a wide array of colors. So you can go to docpops.com or docmerch.com. There's links down in the description. There's also a little YouTube shelf right underneath this video. You'll see where you can just click and get in. And I got to send a shout out to my homie, Kevin Cox, who told me to make stickers. And so yesterday I put stickers of the shop available for you as well. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have a friend who's been wanting to get into content creation and they've been a little bit scared because of the editing or because of their ability to talk without making mistakes, please send them this video. I don't even like the word viral, but I want everybody that grew up watching Tom and Jerry cartoons to know that we have the most information to share. We have the actual lived experience to talk about, and we are the ones that are afraid to be on camera because these kids out here faking their vacations in Instagram, making us feel some type of way. And we don't have to do that. We don't need that kind of stress. We got better things to worry about. Family, that's it. I'm going to pop up another video I think you should check out. It's going to pop up on screen right now. Just give it a click. And please, if you enjoyed this in any way, shape, or form, drop me a message down in the comments. And I am on a mission to try to get to 20K before the end of the year. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Mahalo.
I need to know everything. Who and the what and the where. I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse. I'm ready for war. I'm coming for throats to turn to a ghost. I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver.